Burma's Forgotten Crescent, the untold story of Islam in Myanmar and the lives of Burmese Muslims. Imagine being born in the only country on earth where your faith makes you stateless, where your mosque can be bulldozed overnight, your ID card confiscated, and your children denied school. This is not ancient history. This is Burma today. For over 1,000 years, Islam has shaped Myanmar's trade, culture, and kingdoms. Yet now, millions of Burmese Muslims face an impossible choice: stay invisible or flee with nothing. In the next few minutes, you'll discover how Islam first arrived in Burma, what life is really like for Muslims there, and why their past, present, and future could change all of Southeast Asia. The arrival of Islam in Burma, a 1,200-year journey. Islam reached what we now call Myanmar as early as the 9th century, long before the modern nation existed. Arab and Persian Muslim merchants sailed to the Bagan Kingdom, settling in coastal ports for trade. They married local Burmese, creating the first Muslim communities known as Pathi or Zerbadi, people with Burmese mothers and Muslim fathers. These early Muslims were not outsiders. They became royal advisors, port authorities, shipbuilders, and traditional medicine men in Burmese courts. The 15th century kingdom of Morocco in Arakan, modern Rakhine State, marked Islam's political peak. Its kings took both Buddhist and Muslim titles, minted coins with Arabic script, and served as vassals to the Bengal Sultanate from 1429 to 1437. Buddhism was the state religion, but Islam, Hinduism, and Christianity were also practiced. Another wave came from Yunnan, China. The Panthay Muslims settled in northern Burma in the 13th century, and again after a 19th century sultanate collapsed. Under British rule after 1826, migration exploded. Indian Muslim businessmen, officials, and laborers arrived in Rangoon. Before World War II, more than 1/3 of all Burmese Muslims were of Indian origin. By independence in 1948, Muslims held ministerial posts, served in parliament, and led major industries. That integration would not last. Life of Burmese Muslims, not one community, but many. Myanmar's Muslims are not a single group. The 2014 census counted 4.3% of the population as Muslim, though community leaders estimate closer to 10%. They include 1. Burmese Muslim Zerbadi, descendants of early settlers, culturally and linguistically Burmese. 2. Panthay, Chinese Muslims, mainly in Mandalay and Shan State. 3. Khaman, recognized as one of Myanmar's 135 official ethnic groups, living in Rakhine. 4. Rohingya, 800,000 lived in Rakhine State before 2017. Their language is related to Bengali dialects in Bangladesh. Under Burmese kings, Muslims often thrived. But after General Ne Win's 1962 coup, they were systematically expelled from government and army posts. The 1982 citizenship law denied nationality to anyone who couldn't prove Burmese ancestry before 1823, rendering most Rohingya stateless. Special identity papers and travel restrictions followed. 6 EA72E0 Zore 40 Soldiers Past, Present, and Future. Past, from citizens to outsiders. Anti-Indian riots in the 1930s began over economics, but turned religious. After independence, Muslims faced 13 military operations since 1948. In 1978 and 1991-92, hundreds of thousands of Rohingya fled to Bangladesh to escape violence. Even outside Rakhine, Muslims faced mosque demolitions and arrests. In 2001, 8 Muslim men were jailed 7 years for traveling without local police permission. Present, a crisis of containment. Since August 25, 2017, over 700,000 Rohingya fled to Bangladesh after a military crackdown that the US determined was genocide and crimes against humanity. Today, nearly 1 million live in Cox's Bazar camps. But the crisis isn't only Rohingya. A 2017 rights report found persecution of Muslims rising across Myanmar, with 21 villages declaring themselves no-go zones for Muslims, backed by authorities. Mosques struggle to get repair permits, and evangelism is banned. In 2024-2025, conditions worsened. Fighting between the Myanmar military and Arakan army has caught Rohingya in the crossfire. On August 5, 2024, drone strikes on civilians fleeing Mongdaw killed nearly 200. Inside Myanmar, 150,000 more Rohingya were displaced in 18 months. In camps, donor fatigue means food rations are cut, and 230,000 children risk losing education. UN officials warn of a lost generation growing up without skills or hope. Forced recruitment of Rohingya men by both the military and Arakan army is now common. Future, between impossibilities. The UN says safe return is impossible until crimes against them end and perpetrators held accountable. Citizenship rights remain unresolved, and ideological structures of exclusion remain firmly embedded. Bangladesh says it no longer has the capacity for more refugees, yet 8,000 Rohingya crossed in mid-2024 alone. For non-Rohingya Muslims, the future is also uncertain. While some Burmese Muslims remain integrated, Freedom House rated Myanmar's religious freedom 1 out of 4 in 2020, citing state-amplified anti-Muslim hate speech and the Mabatha movement establishing Muslim-free villages. The government promotes Theravada Buddhism for senior posts, making adherence a prerequisite for promotion. Experts warn of two paths. One, continued containment, keeping Rohingya alive but politically invisible in camps without work or travel rights. The other, regional instability. UNHCR's Filippo Grandi calls Cox's Bazar a city of more than 1 million people in one of the most vulnerable areas in the world. Without funding, food aid stops by December and health services collapse by September. Desperation drives illegal migration and recruitment by armed groups. Islam's story in Burma began with traders and kings, not conflict. For centuries, Muslims were part of Myanmar's fabric, as citizens, soldiers, and neighbors. The shift from coexistence to exclusion was political, accelerated after 1962. Today, Burmese Muslims face legal discrimination, statelessness, and violence, while the world debates repatriation to a country still at war. Their future depends on citizenship, accountability, and whether Myanmar chooses pluralism over exclusion. As one Rohingya refugee put it, we are trapped between two impossibilities. 10C56EA77B9. Thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe our channel for more informative videos.